last thing that I want to discuss in this segment is the idea of using food or toy rewards as part of this work. So I already discussed this a little bit, that the primary reinforcers or the primary rewards that we're going to be using is going to be space and variations of how to give the dog space in order to reward them for a job well done. However, there are some times where we do find it beneficial to utilize food as part of this work. Generally speaking, especially for any of you guys that are relatively new to this process, I'm going to encourage that you only use food after you've given yourself a safe amount of space. Meaning, I don't want you to try to be rewarding your dog with food if you're at all within any bit of a threshold zone or a danger zone. So, again, really be careful about what you're doing here. The reason that I don't want you giving food while you're sort of in the mix is that it's going to take your attention away from your dog's body language. It's also going to affect your stability as far as how you're standing and moving, and also how you might be holding on to the leash. So I really want to make sure that if you're at all within the sort of range where things could get complicated with your dog and any oncomers, I don't want you worrying about trying to reach in your pockets and get food or deliver that food to your dog. I've seen far too many scenarios where while somebody is in the process of food delivery, their dog locks eyes with the oncoming dog and then explodes, and now we only have one hand on the leash and we're maybe not quite prepared. So what we're going to be doing is giving our dog space, and then after we've given them an adequate amount of space and we're giving that 30-second to 1 minute cool-off period, that's the appropriate time to give food. And the food's just serving as a little bit of an extra reinforcer. It also can help to mitigate any stress that has accumulated throughout the process. So when we give our dogs food, it kind of takes their mind off of what was going on and really tends to have the opposite physiological effect of any stress that accumulated while we were approaching the other dog. As far as toys are concerned, I really don't recommend using toy rewards while we're working with our reactive dogs in these contexts. And the reason for that is that toy rewards are going to tend to bring up the dog's overall level of arousal. And when they're more aroused, it can bring them closer to the point of explosion. So we really want to be focusing on calming our dogs. And for most dogs, they might get a little bit excited over food, but it doesn't really get their heart cranking the way a good game of tug or a ball or anything like that goes. So if you have a dog that's highly toy motivated, we're going to refrain from using toys while we're out and about working through some of these setups. You can absolutely use toy rewards in your other obedience away from other dogs. So you can absolutely use toy rewards when you're hanging out in your house and working on your recalls or working on your place command. But when we're out doing setups, we're going to suggest that you don't use toy rewards because it can actually make your dog more predisposed to reacting in that moment. Okay, so I want to make very clear that I'm not saying that playing with your dog with toys is going to make them more reactive overall, or that playing tug with your dog is going to make them more reactive overall. All I'm saying is in the moment, if we're playing tug with our dog, it's bringing their arousal level up, which means in that moment, they might be more prone to reaction because their heart's already racing a lot faster and they're already in a far more tuned in state of mind.